Hi, my name is Jonathan Hicks. I'm back at the Dice Cup, and this evening I'm joined by
Mark,
Steve,
and Matt.
And we just finished playing Sequoia, which is a sort of area control game with dice. So you have the numbers from 1 all the way around to 2, because you're combining 2 dice every time. And the easy way to do this is just to have a dummy round. So everyone is going to roll their dice, but secretly behind their hands, so you can't see what they're doing. And I'm going to roll these and hope no one else looks at them. There we go, so I'll cover them up. And you're trying to make pairs, okay? So I could, this is probably quite good. I'm going to put that one with that one with that one, and obviously you're going to have one left over. So that one just goes out separate, and we sort of do it like this. We put the separate one out to make it clear that we've finished. So you can see Steve is finished, Mark is finished, Matt always takes the longest. There we go. And then once everyone's finished, you reveal your dice. And whatever the pairs are, so I've got 12 and 2, this is why you can't have 1, because it's 2 dice being compared. You put leaves on them, so I put a leaf on number 2, which is this one, if you can see it, and a leaf on 12, because these are hard to get. 2 people also got 12. In fact, we carry on doing this. So the leaves are going to end up sort of going around on these different things. There'll be lots of leaves on here. And then in the end, because you keep rolling the dice round after round after round until the leaves are all used up. And it doesn't take very long. It's a pretty quick, snappy game. And then once all the leaves have gone out, you're trying to see who has the most leaves on each of the numbers, and you get points. So in this case, green has 3 leaves, so it gets the 3 points. And second place was me. I only had 2 leaves, so I get 1 leaf. And you resolve all the ones that you can resolve. Now, some of them might have ties. So in this case, for example, you can see pink and orange have both got 1. So we're fighting over the 4-point one. So once you've removed all the ones that kind of can be resolved, once everyone's leaves have been used up, then the people who are left who have a tie just resolve it by sort of playing by themselves, if you like. So you're just trying to make pairs to get the only numbers that you can. So in this case, all I would really care about is a 7. Can I make a 7 like this? Oh, I can with a 4 and a 3, and I'd put 1 on. But if pink was also able to put 1 on, then it would be a tie and we'd carry on. So you resolve all the ties like that, and then at the end you count up all the points you got from controlling the different numbers, and whoever has the most points wins. What do we think?
So yeah, it's very, very light, and obviously very, very luck-based. I mean, the fun is ultimately trying to get... You can sort of see people slowly build stacks up when you've already got some, so you're like, oh, they're going the other way, and then you're hoping you get the right number of combinations, but you ultimately kind of... The dice are going to have a big effect on where you can go, especially as it hits the second round once the cards are brought away. If you just can't roll the numbers you need, nothing much you can do about it. It's fine. I would never selectively choose to play it, but it's so short. I probably wouldn't be offended by people saying they want to play it either. It's in that middle ground where, because it's so short, I don't really care. But that's the thing I think about this, I just don't really care about it at all either way. I think Steve said it's by the same designer who did Mount and Goat, which is a much, much, much better version of this game without being hugely different, but it's just more fun. Okay. And that's the issue with it.
Steve?
Its big strength is its brevity. It's just so quick. You can play it while waiting for the people to turn up. It took us 5 minutes maybe to play, even people when eye rolling and stuff. I actually find the best bit of the game is that once you've resolved them all and you've got that ties and you're like, well, Matt's only fighting for 9s, but I'm fighting for 9s and 6s. So, oh my God, if Matt gets a 9, I need to make sure I put a 9 down and so on. So that's that point when the more ties you're in, the more likely you are not to win any of them. So I quite like the end of the game, but yeah, it's just a light game and people like chucking dice.
Matt?
Yeah, it's quite random, and you can sort of use statistics because, as we all know, rolling 2 dice, you're more likely to get a 7 and all that kind of stuff. So you'd think that the 2s and 12s would be the more difficult ones to roll. But in that entire game, I never rolled any combination of my 5 dice that would give me a 4. And the 4 had the highest value points thing on. So the points are randomly assigned each game. So sometimes 4 will be the most valuable, sometimes it'll be 2, whatever. So you can kind of go, oh, a 2, that's difficult to get. You can only get it with 2 1s. I should go for that. But every time I rolled a 2 or a 12, I looked at it and there were stacks, loads of people's leaves on. I was like, not worth bothering now. So yeah, it's an interesting one, but it is basically just a quick filler. Nothing deep to it, I don't think.
I wonder if the thing you're saying is people will think, well, 2s and 12s are hard to hit, so if I see them, take them because of the more I'd say hold on to them, which ultimately means that people don't fight for the middle numbers because how it goes.
Rating?
Yeah. 5.5, I think.
It's a filler, but 5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a 5.
Yeah, I'm not very keen on it. They've pretty much said it all. I don't like the kind of randomness you get in this game. The two versions of randomness, which is one, you roll the dice, and like Matt said, sometimes you just can't get the combination you need. There's an interesting decision in terms of how you combine the dice, but sometimes, no matter what you do, you're stuffed. So I'm not very keen on that. The other type of randomness that I don't like is when you're like, oh, I can go for this number and this number, and Steve always goes for the same numbers that I'm going for every single time. It drives me mad.
I was annoyed as well.
And that's going to happen from time to time. Mark, was it Mark that won? Oh, no, you
No,
actually won in the end.
Steve
Steve,
won,
yeah. But Mark seemed to get a lot of them because me, Matt, and Steve were fighting over them, and Mark just took them because no one else was going for them. So I don't like that kind of randomness. So the game's fine. I would play it if other people asked, but I would also be on a 5 out of 10. All right, thanks for watching. That was Sequoia.